Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Peter, and in this video I would like to show you a dashboard I made for my Thrustmaster wheelbase. Since I saw the review of sim racing hardware dashboard, I always wanted to have one of these, but unfortunately the price is a bit too high for me, and therefore I decided to use this concept and design something myself. The main piece of the dashboard consists of these two parts here that are roughly 200 by 130 millimeters. So this is just enough to fit on my 3D printer. And they are locked together with the two M5 screws in the middle. So that holds the whole structure. I mean, it is bending a bit, but yeah, I mean, still, it's just plastic. So what can you do about it? The whole piece goes on the front of Thrustmaster wheelbase instead of the original cover. It's a very similar concept to the one I showed in my SimHub display video. One of my main goals was to make sure that this frame fits perfectly on the front of the Thrustmaster TSPC wheelbase. And so I remodeled all those angles here, as you can see. Yeah, if it's focusing. So as you can see on the side here, there's a lot going on. And I have to say that, this was probably the most annoying design process I did in a very, very long time. I mean, there's just so many angles, diameters here, and it really took me over 10 test prints to get it kind of right. It's still not perfect, but I really just had enough and decided, yeah, that's good. I'm not doing it anymore. On both sides of the main frame, there are two mounting holes, as you can see, to put on any accessories that you'd like. So you basically have them on both sides of your wheelbase. And so far I made 3 different types. So the first accessory is a button box, and I made 2 different versions. So one is with the fan being mounted on top of it, but I ended up not using this one because when I put the fan on, it takes too much space and basically covers a bit of my screen. So that was not desirable, so to say. And so I made a second version. It's also a bit smaller, and I actually used this one. And as you can see, the fan is here on the side. I also made this phone holder with the fan mount on the top of it. Now, the idea was that I will have SimHub dashboard on it with like the race stats, etc. But the thing is, this screen is a bit too small for me. I could not see very well on it, and I decided not to use it. Instead, I just mounted a 10-inch tablet on the side of my rig. And lastly, there's just a simple fan mount. This is in case you don't need any additional accessories on one end of the dashboard. And that's what I did here, because I just need one button box on the right hand side, and on the left I just have the fan. So these are all the accessories I have for now. But I'm sure that you guys will have a bunch of other ideas, so please make sure to share them down in the comments. The button box is nothing special really. It has a space for the fan holder, some holes for cabling here, a bay for the Arduino, so you can plug in the cable on the side here, and a couple of support walls. These are just to improve the rigidity of the construction when pushing in the buttons. As for the front of the button box, this can be basically whatever you want. I mainly needed some extra rotary encoders and a joystick, so that's what I'm using in the one I showed you before. But with some basic design skills, you can easily make the layout that suits your needs. As for the fans, I'm using a couple of Noctua Redux 120mm PC fans, and they are held in place by this super cheap ball head for camera tripod. And because of that, I can just simply customize the angle at which I have the fans. So it sounded initially like a bit of a silly idea, but actually turned out to be working very well. These ball heads are a bit unique though, because apart from the standard 1/4 inch thread in the middle, they also have two M4 screw holes on the sides. And it was one of the main reasons why I bought these, because that significantly simplified my design and actually makes them very easy to be held in place securely. On the front of the fans, there are these 3D printed covers to focus the airflow, and there's the 1/4 inch heat insert inside the plastic, as you can see. It's just mounted here, so that I can just simply screw on the whole fan on the ball head. The thing is, these don't perform as well as I was hoping for. I don't know whether it's because of the design of the covers here, or it's simply because the PC fans are just not strong enough to provide sufficient airflow. And if you have any ideas or suggestions, I would really appreciate them. So please show them in the comments. Lastly, there is a feature I probably like the most in this design, which is a detachable screen mount right in the middle. So it's using the same concept as the one I showed in my SimHub display, and is fully compatible with it. But instead of being hard mounted to the base, it simply slides on from the top. So if I have like multiple different display types, which I do, and I'm plan to design more really, I can choose what to use depending on the setup. So for example, in Rally, I like to use this one with a large gear display and the rev LEDs. For GT racing, I have this 4.3-inch Nextion display with loads of LEDs around it. And if I use one of my wheels that already has a display, I simply remove the accessory. It's really very convenient, and I just use it all the time. In terms of compatibility, I'm afraid I have no idea which bases it will work with, apart from the TSPC, which is the only one I own. And unfortunately, I wasn't able to test it on any other bases. I just don't know, because all of these curves here that you see, I just literally have no idea whether it will fit like T300 or TX. But if you were to make one of these for yourself and you're using a different base than TSPC, please let me know in the comments whether it fits. The base model is available on Thingiverse for free, But if you'd like to have, for example, this next on display model that I'm using, or the step files to make your own modification, whether that's for the button box or the frame itself, I would just appreciate a small donation to support my channel, and then I'll send you all the files you want. And I guess that's all I wanted to show you. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments. Also, consider subscribing if you enjoyed this video, and as always, have a great rest of the day. Bye!